Well, we're back with the Reaver. What's gonna happen? Oh! This, I can't tell this is happening because of supply block. His Reaver was just blocked for so long, he was like, nah, I'm not Reaver dropping. But this is a sort of interesting little psych out that Arthur does, where he's just like, oh, well, I'm just gonna feign having a Reaver here earlier, and I'm just gonna expand, and then I'm gonna expand. Ooh. It's delaying the expansion. Hasn't done any damage yet. Dirty Bag's been great about holding down the fort. Pretty solid game. Did the Reaver ever get built? Guess what? No, it didn't. Second Expo going down. Now, I've seen this a little bit more often when a player does get the Reaver out. This sort of double expand shenanigan, because there's enough Dragoons on the backside to defend against Reaver attacks, and of course, excuse me, to defend against Vulture attacks. And the Reaver is such a great tool for monitoring what the hell's going on here, for dealing with attacks. I love watching Bisu's stream, seeing him get Reavers so frequently against Terran, and to be able to do these very thin expansion moves. But in this spot, I mean here, I think one of the biggest things that needs to be done is just get a lot of gateways and a lot of Dragoons. Because earlier in the game you heard me talk about getting the Citadel up in time to deal with the big push and the next step. Part of the next step for Protoss, as we've talked about, is having just a crap load of gateway units that are upgraded enough to deal with Terran. So, in these sorts of positions, when rushing for many extra expansions like this, like going for 3 base, often just getting a lot of Dragoons and then just a few extra cells for the Warp Prism and delaying the speed can be extremely effective for holding off these sort of mid-range pushes that we see out of Terrans. What's lovely is the observer can just look at everything that's going on and know with oodles of clarity. Like this Twilight Council, I mean, yeah, you can get the speed. But often just having, again, a crap ton of gateways with a crap ton of gateway units. Actually, not gateway units, Dragoons. Specifically, the mass Dragoon army. I mean, here we see an attempt to be kind of a little bit cutesy from Arthur. With only 3 gateways, it's just not quite enough to hold all this stuff up. Oh, Arthur. Oh, with the Q-ups. And look at this. This is an amazing recognition from Dirty Bag. This is the power of Vulture Tank, man. This is a 2-factory push with an expand behind it. This is just judging, oh, well, if you don't have the Reaver, I don't really need anything too exceptional to make these pushes be very, very strong. These guys a little out of position. Eh. Are those unburrowed mines? What was that? What was that? The mines are unburrowed. Why are they unburrowed? Is this a glitch? What? Why are they? What? 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 I don't know what's going on here. Neither does Arthur. He's spreading out, man. What? That's why that Reaver's important. I'm actually just going to rewind. I want to just look at this a little bit more, because I think this is just a great, great recognition from Dirty Bag. This is like a hard thing to spot. He's seen this double expand. He's going to apply pressure down here because, well, honestly, he can. It's hard for Protoss to be able to do much. There's no Reaver. There's been no Reaver sighting. So this is a much safer play. He's going to take the opportunity to do this push, yeah, just because it's so hard to have that much might. Now, if you're Protoss and you built 6 gateways, 7 gateways very quickly, and you're making a lot of Dragoons, then that's That's something a little different. Yeah, dude, this is just straight unbridled ferocity. And also recognizing this and going, no, dude, I'm just gonna get into position. That's pretty sick, man. That's pretty, and to expand after this, and no, that's really good, man. This mine placement is awesome, and saving a few mines to lay at by the tanks at the front. Starbow folks in chat are like, it's been fixed. It was a bug. It's been fixed. Hello, cat. We're watching tanks destroy things. So I'm Terran right now. I'm going to be just building as many factories as I can to flood as many units as I can to make sure that this is all safe. Look at that timing. Look at that Ihan timing. Come here, kitten. It might get cleaned up. It's just not a big deal. Spreading out to maximize the amount of damage before it eventually dies. Here Arthur is having gateway regrets. He is having gateway regrets. And this is the sort of position to be in where you're just like, ooh, ghoul. A simple way to transition out of this is not a good position to be in. But quickly gas, get a Templar archive with Storm while expanding. And you can leverage the power of the Templar in Warp Prisms as a pretty good bang for your buck when you're behind in this sort of spot, without being something too time expensive like going for Arbiters. It is a style popularized by Stork, one of the dragons of Protoss. Oh my god, there's so much history in Brood War, man. Oh my god, no regrets. Oh, no regrets. Dirty Bag will rarely ever have this much success. This is a, I'm keeping you honest. You're gonna try to expand. If you try to cut too many, well, you know, because what a lot of Protosses will do once they've lost a third base is they'll go, well, better go for the hyper late game. And they'll just like expand, go to Arbiters. They'll have so few units because a surprising percentage of Terrans don't punish it. When you're among great players, they'll all punish everything, but simple Vulture Harass is an unbelievably easy way to keep a Terran player, a Protoss player honest when he's behind. Give me another foul meow, cat. You know, we haven't talked about this too much, but there's, as you can see, there's a ramp here. So technically, as you follow my mouse cursor, this is the fastest way from base to base. Yep. In this way. But the way that players actually go is they go up and down and up like this. There's a few reasons for that. The first is that even though this expansion is wide, excuse me, this ramp is wide, this ramp is not. This is a very, 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 very tiny ramp. So this amount of space is so nice. But also, if you can get here, attacking this expansion is way easy. And Arthur has no good place to put his units. So putting them here to try to shut down Vulture Harass, which it does. And one of the big themes of the day is positioning. Dirty Bag is just hitting all these angles. He could actually just mine this place up, run a few Vultures, and mine up here while establishing with siege tanks. Siege tanks have all pulled back till the depots come down, but you've heard that my tendency is to go for longer and longer games. Even when I'm behind, I like to go for like super late game stuff, so Arthur is doing a different angle, which is, well, I'm behind, I better try to really hurt you. So doing this sort of 8 gateway hyper aggro flood. One way to do this is not even mining from here. Attack the turret. And the scan turns like, oh, well, I'm fine. Doo-doo-doo. Oh. Oh. So Terran for all his passivity is playing this out amazingly. He's using vultures to keep the Protoss player honest, not sending too many out. I think this is actually a little bit too many, but not sending too many other units out, just mostly staying at home. If Protoss tries to be aggressive, the vultures punish him. If Protoss tries to overtech, the vultures punish him. Protoss tries to counterattack. Oh. Tanks are good. Dragoons don't quite spread as much as they do in Brood War. Ooh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Yes. Here's the last one. Here's the last one I want to show you. This is a long one. We're not going to watch all of it. We're going to do something we haven't done in a while. We're going to take some questions after the show. So this is Kalevi against Teddy Bear. Alright. We've been seeing a pretty narrow set of things in these games. There's a new air unit for Protoss. There's many a Zerg difference. From SC2, that is. But in this game, there's a few things I want to talk about. The big one being the direction of attack. Oh, that's pretty sick. I never even thought of that. Oh, dude, did he even get to scout it? What? Okay, so orbital commands in this game. It has a ComSat. It also has this overcharge, which lets you increase the rate of production at factories and barracks. Then it has call down SCV. You want to call down a mule? Pfft, this is an actual SCV. So, what Kalevi just did is he scanned and then dropped an SCV to scout, man. That's pretty dope. I would scan and drop it and build a factory and then kill you. Ha ha ha. Oh my god. No way! That's so sick! He didn't see it! Oh, okay, there he saw. He sees everything. He even sees the speed boost. Oh, man. This might look excessive, all these turrets, but it's really not against a, this one is. You don't need this one. Because this one should cover it. I don't know what this one's about, but every other one I completely understand. Flash was very famous for doing this in Brood War, just building what seemed like an excessive turrets, even against someone who didn't go Reaver, just to keep out observers. Many people were like, oh, silly Flash. And then he just smoked everyone with it. Became the norm for a little bit. But as always, what I find so fascinating about Reaver openings is the variability in how they pan out. Like here, ooh, Marines. Nice micro. Oh, yes. Oh. So thick. Look at all these SCVs. Like, I'll mine if you ever need me to. This guy needs to move. This guy needs to lift. Jesus. Oh my god, this is gruesome. So that was very good. This 4 gateway thing, I understand. I see these players chrono boosting gateways a lot. I don't think you need a chrono boost gateways. I mean, he's likely only having 1 factory. If he has a second one, no big deal. You've killed off several tanks, so meh. Schmeh, etc. Walling this off, taking the fast third. Could be a little faster, I think. And thus begins a game. Let me speed up for a moment because even though the Reaver Aras is done, the game is far from it. Losing the Reaver is actually a big concern for the survivability of this mid-game phase. Covidic boosters, oh yeah, I guess the speed for observers in this game. Fast forge for +1, totally cool with that. Just needs to make sure that the Dragoon count gets very high from these 4 gateways. And this is something that's actually going to hurt me. This is going to hurt me so much. This is going to be when day 9 becomes lachrymose. Oh! Who studied for their SATs? Lachrymose. It's a word that means prone to weepiness. When I was in high school and I had a lot of feelings, I wrote poetry. I can't believe I'm telling you this. I would write poems. I would. And I'd look for big words, like $5 words, that expressed the feelings that I felt internally, but also kind of made me look smart and like well-read and shit. I've like never seen lachrymose anywhere else. It's like Lachrymose. Except for a really good song by Symbion Project. Lacrimosa is the name of it. But yeah, this is going to make me prone to weepiness. I'll be quite lachrymose after this particular moment. He'll write a poem about it. It's when Terran expands in a way that does not support his angle of attack. Ugh. And I love this move out from Protoss. This is cool. This is freaking Terran out. Taking a little bit of extra time. Do a little bit of extra sweeping. Phase shift. What is this? Oh, that's right. This is an observer ability, which is that you can only target fire observers. They don't get auto-acquired. It's a cool way to keep them Obas alive. Ion thrusters. Okay, who wants to see the pain? This pain from the Terran point of view. From the Protoss point of view, I'm actually like, oh, hey, nice work. Moving very far forward. Has all this nicely secured. Double forge, very long-term play. This is great. He's cut gateways, right? He has only these 4. He's getting 2 more. And how on earth does he make sure that he has long-term viability? Whoa! Getting the upgrades, but most importantly, positioning very far forward to support these upgrades. If these units were all the way back home, Teddy Bear runs the risk of becoming a shredded bear. But Kalevi, moving out. Actually, let me Alt-F it. There we go. Teddy Bear is positioning himself in between this push and his expansion. I mean, look at how magnificently Teddy Bear is just positioning to delay, to delay, to delay. Be careful, Teddy Bear! Okay, he just biffed hard there. He needed to be right here. This is okay. He's going to get some pickups here. It's going to force Kalevi to unsiege a little bit, but... Ah! 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 If you're attacking this way, and your expansion's here, this is a really vulnerable expansion. If you're attacking this way, this is a danger. So, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, but it does mean that you should wall this off. Probably not with supply depots, probably like barracks engineering bay, or barracks depot, turret, depot, tank, planetary. Like, take that seriously, because this is a big vulnerability. These units are slow, super slow. And to get into position to defend this, I mean, there's the double whammy, where, first of all, just distance-wise, this is far from this. It's like half a map distance, and the more successful your push is, the farther it is back here. More importantly, look at the place that this thing would have to go. Does it want to go this way? To attack this army here? The army will just run up and kill this off. Often what Terran actually wants to do is come down here and cut up this way, which is the safest angle. This is a danger zone. Danger zone! And of course, Teddy Bear is like the king of the late game. He's getting all his upgrades, he's getting his Abita. Very gas-heavy play that's not using one of the gas geysers. That happens. Arbiter Tribunal. Woo! Kalevi, the king of the slow push. Kalevi. Oh my god, this hurts me, Kalevi. Hurts me. Teddy Bear, I think, is smartly just like, oh, I'll just expand here. I think this is probably a little better, but, you know, this or that, both are good. Both are solid. Frage. Grand Amour. You see what I mean? Teddy Bear is again doing this amazing job of delaying. It's this positioning that's slowing down the push. This push has been happening over the course of minutes. An opportunity strikes, and Teddy Bear, if I'm in Teddy Bear's shoes, I'm not actually looking to kill this off. I'm looking to eat a big hole in the front of it. Right about now is where I might pull back. My judgment, as it turns out, is not as good as Teddy Bear's, who saw that he could win that. But that is the moment that I definitely would have pulled back. Teddy Bear never gives up, never surrenders. He's actually going to lose everything. Poor little guys. Look how vulnerable this expansion is. Ah! And we're just seeing the momentum slowly brewing for Teddy Bear as he's getting more Arbiters up, as he's getting his 2-2 upgrades up and up. Kalevi feels okay. Another expansion en route for Teddy Bear. Oh! Did he not scout it until now? But I think this is the sort of game that, up to this point, it can be very deceptive. It doesn't seem so bad that Kalevi expanded here and is moving this way. It doesn't seem so bad. Oh my god, my danger sensors are going off so hard. See Teddy Bear continuing to delay, get more ups, delay. Get ups, delay. Ups, delay. Macroing so hard. So hard that I'm going to fine him. So hard that I'll please remind him. What's Kedar and Core do? Is this just the energy upgrade? Ah. EMP coming up. I'm waiting. I actually gotta speed this up. This is an hour-long game. We are not gonna watch all of it. We're gonna watch two big moments that just hurt my little soul. This expansion, I would have loved this expansion as the first one. I would have loved if this one were here. I would have loved that. Here, you know, it's definitely being reinforced and covered by this push. This is great. Chewing through just the front lines to help ensure the expansion upgrades finish out. But while all this was going on, a little tragedy occurred for Kalevi. Oh. Gonna hang out here. Here's the push, starting to step forward. This is not a gigantic army from Protoss. In fact, while this is going on, Protoss is also holding this off. This is how vulnerable and huge a deal this expansion is. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh no, Kalevi. And Teddy Bear has been playing this just right. Playing it slow, playing it patient, trying to clear this out, trying to continue to produce Arbiters and his 3-2 upgrades out of this. No, we have mines defending a turret and turret defending a mine. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, my God. We see the Templar is researching his own forehead. Expansion down here. Again, it does have some good coverage from this army above. Like, this is easier for this army to pull back down here. But what's so dangerous is that Kalevi soon starts pushing up to this top side, and this bottom side becomes threatened. Ah! I think I only have like another 90 seconds of material here. I really want to show this bottom side getting hit upon. This is why in Brood War you'll see like turret, mine. Like a line of turrets, a line of mines behind them, and some siege tanks here. And given that planetary fortresses are also in this game, I think this could become semi-arbiter proof. Never quite got there. I'll just do a little bit of plugging for Starbow. So for any of you who are just interested in classic RTS style gameplay, the take the base, get the minerals, build the dude, kill the dude, Starbow is an excellent genre to explore for yourself. It's a mod for SC2. You can just look it up as Starbow. And they even have like a ladder and tournaments and all that good stuff. And of course, I've been chatting with the Starbow guys on and off for a long time. They're excellent humans. And thusly, I'm thrilled to be doing a little show for them. Telling everyone how sick Starbow is. The Vulture Tank sexiness. This is something I can use much more often in a game like this. The relationship of the attacks to the bases. We see the Protoss player pulling up here. We see a stretch of Terran towards an expansion that's likely going to be gone soon. This more recent Precious expansion is away from all these Protoss bases, which can be good depending on how Terran moves. Soon we will see. I'm going to continue to stay here. Oh! I'm actually going to cut ahead in this game. I'm going to cut ahead to the 46-minute mark. That's when it happened. I thought it was happening soon. I was like, when is it? Game too long. So my fast-forwarding skills are not nearly as good as I would like them to be. But we're going to see Kalevi take another push up here. Another push attempt. A lot of this is mines and buildings. We see some smattering of tanks pulling back. This expansion becomes more vulnerable the more aggressive the Kalevi attempts to push up to the top side. This Arbiter's like, delicious! Incidentally, it's right at the time that Kalevi is trying to do this push up to the top. It's so hard to hold off Arbiters in this context without a lot of watchful minimap action. And these are pretty beefy, 3-3 with one shield. And Kalevi might be able to deal some damage up here, might be able to pick off some workers, but is losing pretty much all the hope for future bases. This is mined out, this is mined out, this is running. The teddy bear has a ridiculous bank that he's just blasted on 4 carriers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap up this game right now. I'm just going to stop it, bam, at the 38-minute mark. I'll let Ziphius post this game if he's interested in linking it out. Now let's do little questions. What up? Question time. Yahoo! What is Starbow? Again, for you who don't know, it is a mod to StarCraft 2. You can look it up. Either in SC2 in the mod section, or you can go to SC2 underscore Starbow on Twitch. Kudawuda. Here's an interesting. This is more philosophical question is, why no Wraiths in Starbow? I'm always curious whenever someone says a question in the negative. I don't mean like you're being a negative person, but in the why didn't you, or why isn't it, or why not. Because you say, why no Wraiths in Starbow? There's Wraiths in Starbow. That's why I always understand. I always don't quite get it. Because you could say, are there Wraiths in Starbow? And I would go, yeah. Isn't that easy? Hmm. Izanagi says, why is it called the launch special? Has it been around for years? They are officially launching. I believe 3 days ago? 2 days ago? So this is just a little shout out to them. Because, I mean, holy shit is it hard to make a game. Especially one that you like. Pleased with. Trumpet says, Dana, what's your favorite addition to Starbow that's not the current StarCraft 2? I mean, it's really simple. It's these new little things, like the Kadaran Crystal. At the starport, there's this unit called the Sentinel, which is like a sort of cute harass unit. Just these extra little additions they make. The overcharge here. These factory units are all the same. At the starport, there's just like a lot of units sort of all together. There's the Science Vessel, and the Banshee, and the Viking, and the Wraith. I mean, it's the fact there's just like so many new things. Because what makes units in a strategy game cool is the interaction with each other. Like, siege tanks aren't cool because siege tanks are cool. Siege tanks are cool because of the interaction with so many units that cluster tightly with things like Dragoons. They do bonus damage, and that's so sick to see. And if you just made a game that had a lot of Ultralisks and Immortals in it, siege tanks would be a lot less cool. The interaction is what's so cool. So the fact that there is just a few extra elements thrown in here and there, I just like a lot. And of course I just like the Brood War-esque-ness. Let's see. Zigmover says, what's the difference between Starbow and StarCraft 2? A lot of little things, the way units move. They don't cluster together. They kind of spread out a little more. The magic box size is bigger. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up magic box StarCraft. Units different. Very different. So that guy who ganks says, I'm struggling on how to get into meta with builds, build orders, and when scouting an opponent, knowing what build he's going for. There's the brute force methodology, which is just play a lot and get used to it. But let me give you something better than that. I would look for a strategy from a player that speaks to you. And by a strategy, I mean something that you've seen a couple times. Like, pick a player like Life. Or if it's Starbow, I would look up all the Starbow VODs, because there's a ton of them from the tournament games. Find one, watch a lot of one strategy, and just cling to that and do that non-stop. Pick one strategy and just do that. Let's do one more yawn. For Slim Jim says, is there Zerg and Starbow? And if so, why didn't you show any? I'm always so interested in why so many questions begin with the negative. Why didn't you show? It implies that I thought about Zerg and I said, man, fuck Zerg. I'm not doing it for this explicit reason. There's totally Zerg and Starbow, and this was just a Terran vs. Protoss show. There it is. Leon9 says, what do you do if you start getting bored of that strategy that you keep doing? Stick with it a little while longer than you want to. Just a little while longer. A little while longer. Force yourself to just stick with it a little more longer to get solid and get a lot of wins on there. And then just do the same thing for a different build and grow your repertoire. Do one more. Do one more question. But why no Zerg? D99999 Y 99999. Interesting. Oh. Will I accept your Battle.net friend request? No. Well, there's a lot of questions that aren't quite related. We're seeing a lot of questions. Primary care says, why haven't you gotten a different haircut, for example? I don't know why I would do something different. I don't know. You see, it stayed in the negative. Why haven't you gotten a different haircut? Like I thought about all the other haircuts and said, not you, not you, not you, not you, not you, but this one. So many people state questions in the negative, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Pulse reaction, here's one. What do you think Blizzard should learn from Starbow? You can just put extra cool, unique things in that throw things out of whack a little bit, and that's okay. I would love more flux in SC2, just more change. Just a little more change. A little more change. And speaking of change, I'm playing Heroes of Might and Magic 2 tomorrow. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I've been this excited for Friday in so long. Show's done. I'll see you tomorrow for Hom 2.